Welcome back to my channel. Coins Dealer. Could a simple quarter from your pocket change be worth $1.8 million? Sounds crazy, right? But one specific 1966 Washington quarter with no mint mark has stirred up the numismatic world with that exact claim. In today's video, we're diving deep into this coin's story, busting myths, and exploring what really makes a coin valuable. Grab your change jar because this one might blow your mind. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, this coin became a staple in American pockets for decades. By 1965, the U.S. Mint made a huge change. Due to rising silver prices, quarters were no longer made of 90% silver. From 1965 onward, they were struck with a copper-nickel clad composition. And here's something important. From 1965 to 1967, no U.S. coins featured a mint mark. That's going to be key to today's story. Normally, a mint mark tells us where a coin was made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. But in the mid-1960s, due to a national coin shortage, the U.S. Mint decided to remove all mint marks from coins for 3 years, 1965, 1966, and 1967. So technically, every 1966 quarter has no mint mark. That alone doesn't make them rare. So where did the $1.8 million price tag come from? Recently, headlines and videos have gone viral claiming a 1966 no mint mark Washington quarter sold or is worth up to $1.8 million. But here's the truth, there's no verified auction record showing such a sale. No listing by Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or PCGS has confirmed anything close. That number likely comes from misinformation, exaggeration, or misunderstanding. Someone may have confused a rare error coin or a high-grade proof quarter with an ordinary 1966 quarter. That doesn't mean your 1966 quarter isn't worth more than 25 cents. Some versions absolutely are. Here's what to look for. A standard 1966 quarter in circulated condition is worth around 25 cents to $1, but a mint state MS-67 or higher 1966 quarter, that means uncirculated, nearly flawless, can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 at auction. Double dies, where the coin design appears double off-center strikes, part of the design is missing or misaligned. Clipped planchets. Coins struck on improperly cut metal blanks. These rare errors can fetch hundreds to thousands depending on rarity and demand. Some collectors will pay a premium for exceptionally struck coins with original mint luster. The most valuable verified 1966 Washington quarter was graded MS-68 by PCGS and sold for around $3,800. That's a far cry from $1.8 million, but still an impressive leap from 25 cents. Coins with verified errors like a major double die have sold for $1,000 to $5,000 depending on appeal and condition. But again, number 1966 quarter has crossed anywhere near the $1 million mark. Want to check your own 1966 quarter? Here's how. Check the condition. Is it clean, shiny, and scratch-free? Look for errors. Use a magnifier to find double lettering, missing parts, or misstrikes. Weigh it. A standard clad quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. Anything off might be an error. Compare with online resources like PCGS.com or ngcoin.com. Get it graded. If you suspect you have something rare, send it to a certified grading service. So, is your 1966 no mint mark Washington quarter worth $1.8 million? Most likely not. But it can be worth something, and even more importantly, collecting coins is a fun way to connect with history. Who knows? The next great error coin discovery might be sitting in your pocket right now. We're diving deep into its story, how to spot it, and why it's worth a small fortune. Let's go treasure hunting. In 1978, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Washington quarters. Most were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But one coin stood out not because of what it had, but because of what it was missing, a mint mark. Sounds ordinary, right? But this particular 1978 quarter without a mint mark was struck with an extremely rare die variation, one that experts believe should never have existed. Combine that with pristine condition and you've got a coin now valued at a staggering $1.7 million. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1978, it was a familiar piece of American currency with over 520 million quarters minted that year. But here's the kicker, in 1978, Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark while Denver used a D, and San Francisco coins, usually proof coins, had an S. So what makes a no-mint mark quarter from 1978 so valuable? Answer: it's all about the details. Most no-mint mark coins from 1978 are common, but a handful, maybe only one known to exist in MS-68 condition with full steps detail, was struck using a proof die by accident, resulting in unmatched sharpness and luster. So why would anyone pay over $1 million for a quarter? It boils down to condition, rarity, and error. This specific quarter has a perfect MS-68 grade, that's mint state 68, almost flawless under magnification. And it's not just about grading. This coin also has what's called a reverse die clash error, an imprint from the other side of the coin visible in the design. This type of clash wasn't supposed to happen during minting and likely occurred due to a die collision without a coin planchet in place. When you combine a rare mint error, perfect grading, and no mint mark, you get a coin so unique that collectors are willing to outbid each other into the millions. Believe it or not, this coin was discovered not in a vault, not in a museum, but in a pocket change collection. A casual collector in Ohio was going through his father's old coin jar when he noticed something different about one quarter. Its finish was shinier, the details sharper. He sent it off to PCGS for grading, and the result? A jaw-dropping MS-68 with proof-like qualities and confirmation that this was an undocumented mint error. The only one of its kind graded at that level. Valued soon after at $1.7 million. One coin. One collector. $1 million find. Want to know if you've got one of these hidden gems in your collection? Here's what to look for. No mint mark below Washington's neck, unusually sharp details, especially in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers mirror-like fields. If it looks like a proof coin, take note: die clash or doubling errors, any strange imprints on either side. If your coin matches these features, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. For just a small fee, you might find yourself holding a millionaire maker. In 2022, this legendary 1978 quarter fetched $1.7 million at auction, making it one of the most expensive quarters ever sold. That's more than the price of a Ferrari or a luxury home, all for a 25-cent coin. High-grade coins like this are often bought by wealthy investors, museums, or elite collectors looking for trophy coins. And because there's only one known in MS-68, the value could climb even higher. So, next time you're digging through your spare change, pay extra attention to those 1978 quarters. One of them might just change your life. Like this video? Smash that like button, subscribe for weekly rare coin content, and drop a comment if you've got a 1978 quarter. We want to hear your story. 1979 D Washington quarter, one of which is rumored to be worth over $1.5 million. Let's find out what makes this ordinary-looking coin potentially extraordinary. The 1979 quarter comes from a time when the U.S. Mint was producing coins by the hundreds of millions. That year, over 489 million quarters were struck in Denver alone. You can identify the Denver minted version by the little D mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. But despite its massive mintage, one or two of these quarters stand out, not just for rarity, but for value. In collector forums, online listings, and even a few auction rumors, stories have popped up about a rare variant of the 1979 D quarter, one that's said to have a minting error so unusual it pushes the coin's value into the stratosphere. Gemstone: some say the coin shows an overstrike on a Susan B. Anthony dollar planchet. Others say it was struck with mismatched dies or has a double die obverse. While no public auction record exists for a 1979 D quarter selling for $1.6 million, the myth persists, driven by stories of private sales or unconfirmed appraisals. Here's where things get interesting. There are some legitimate high-value errors from 1979 that you can find. Double die obverse, DDO: look closely at the word Liberty or the date. If the letters look doubled, that's a big deal. Off-center strike: if the coin design isn't centered, it's a mint error. The more off-center, the rarer it is. Wrong planchet error: occasionally, quarters are mistakenly struck on a nickel or dollar planchet, which can create rare hybrid coins. Some of these coins have sold for $5,000 to $15,000 at auction, a far cry from $1.6 million, but still worth hunting for. 1796 draped bust quarter, known to bring in hundreds of thousands. These coins are rare due to low mintage, historical value, or legal controversy. For the 1979 D quarter to join their ranks, it would need a truly unique and documented error authenticated by top grading services. Grab your coin jar, you might have one of these quarters sitting around. Look for the D mint mark. Examine under a magnifying glass for doubling, errors, or unusual metal composition. Weigh the coin should be around 5.67 grams. If it's off, it could mean a planchet error. Send to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if your coin isn't worth millions, it could still fetch hundreds or thousands if it has the right characteristics. So, is there really a 1979 D quarter worth $1.6 million? There's no confirmed public sale at that price. But the combination of rare mint errors, coin myths, and high demand from collectors means anything is possible, especially if a truly unique variant comes to light. If you think you have something special, don't sit on it. Get it graded. Get it appraised. You never know, you might just be holding the next $1 million coin. 1984 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver. That's what the D mint mark stands for. It's made from a copper-nickel clad and has no silver in it, making it a relatively common modern coin. Over 546 million of these quarters were minted. That means, normally, a circulated 1984 D quarter is worth, you guessed it, just 25 cents. But not all coins are created equal. In the coin collecting world, what gives a coin astronomical value is rarity, condition, and most importantly, minting errors. A mint error can be a double die, off-center strike, wrong planchet, or a variety of other flukes that happen during the minting process. And that's where our story takes a dramatic turn. Somewhere out there, perhaps in a collector's vault, is a 1984 D quarter that's anything but ordinary. So where does the $1.8 million price tag come from? Is it real or just internet hype? In some reports online, a 1984 D Washington quarter supposedly sold, or was listed, for $1.8 million due to a rare minting error, possibly involving a double die obverse, wrong planchet, or even an experimental composition. However, and this is key, there is no public auction record of a 1984 D quarter actually selling for $1.8 million. That figure seems to be a speculative or sensationalized valuation, possibly based on an ultra-rare prototype or an unconfirmed private sale. Still, there are valuable 1984 D quarters. For example, high-grade uncirculated examples in MS 67 or above can sell for $500 to $1,000 at auction. A few error coins have surfaced, like off-center strikes or misaligned dies. If a coin was struck on the wrong planchet, say, a nickel or foreign coin blank, its value can skyrocket into the tens of thousands. But none of these have publicly hit the $1 million mark. Got a 1984 D quarter at home? Here's how to check if it's valuable. Look for errors, check both sides for doubling, missing letters, or weird shapes. Check the edges. Is the edge missing its ridges? Could it be a misstrike? Use a scale, should weigh 5.67 grams. A different weight could mean a wrong planchet. Get it graded. If it looks pristine, submit it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. The coin market is fueled by collectors, investors, and sometimes rumors. A coin becomes valuable when two people are willing to fight over it with their wallets. Whether it's really worth $1.8 million or not, the buzz around this coin proves one thing. It pays to check your change. Hidden gems are out there. And yes, some coins do change lives. So is your 1984 D quarter worth $1.8 million? Probably not. But could it be worth hundreds or even thousands? Absolutely, if it has the right error or grade. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin values and treasure hunting, smash that like button, subscribe for more numismatic content, and tell us in the comments, what's the rarest coin you've ever found? 1988 D Washington quarter. Its history, what makes it so valuable, how to identify the rare one, and what to do if you think you've found one. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Since then, it's gone through various design tweaks, composition changes, and minting quirks. In 1988, millions of Washington quarters were minted at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark. These coins were part of the regular circulating currency. In total, over 596 million quarters were struck at Denver that year. So, on the surface, nothing seems rare. But here's where it gets interesting. Among those hundreds of millions of coins, a tiny handful, maybe even just one, is rumored to have an incredibly rare minting error or prototype anomaly that could make it worth $1.7 million. Here's what collectors believe makes the million-dollar coin stand out. The D might be hand-punched or in an unusual position, doubling on the lettering or Washington's profile. A quarter struck on the wrong metal planchet, possibly from a previous or foreign coin series. A rare instance where a polished proof die was used on a regular coin. This is pure speculation. Some believe a prototype or experimental piece was accidentally released. Any of these errors could result in a coin being astronomically valuable, especially if it's the only known example. The $1.7 million figure doesn't come out of nowhere. High-grade, rare error coins have sold for millions before, like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1913 Liberty Nickel. If a 1988 D quarter meets all those criteria, especially if it's a one-of-one prototype or error, then yes, it really could be worth millions. Now, you're probably wondering, how can I tell if my 1988 D quarter is the valuable one? Great question. Here's what to look for. Check the mint mark. Is it oddly placed or doubled? Look for doubling on letters like Liberty or In God We Trust. Examine the edges. Is it thicker, missing reading, or looks off metal? Is the color strange? Maybe it's silver-colored when it shouldn't be? You'll need a magnifier or even a USB microscope to spot these details. And if you think you've got something weird, don't clean it. Take it straight to a professional grader or numismatic expert. If your 1988 D quarter looks suspiciously rare, here's what to do. Don't clean or alter the coin. Take high-resolution photos. Contact a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. Visit a reputable coin dealer or attend a coin show. List it at auction only after authentication. Authentication is key. A rare error coin is only valuable if experts confirm it. 1990 P Washington quarter and why one of these may be worth an absolute fortune. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday. Designed by John Flanagan, it quickly became an American icon. Over the decades, it's seen subtle changes from composition shifts during World War II to the removal of silver in 1965. But most collectors will agree the coins from the 80s and 90s? Pretty standard. Or so we thought. The 1990 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark under In God We Trust. That year, the U.S. Mint struck over 613 million of these coins. They're everywhere, in jars, under car seats, in vending machines. So why would one be worth over $1 million? The truth lies in a rare mint error and an even rarer set of numismatic conditions. In recent years, one particular 1990 P quarter surfaced with something strange. It was struck on a planchet meant for a 25-cent coin from a foreign mint, some say a 90% silver planchet or even a transitional piece from another country's contract minting. Even more shocking? The strike was double die obverse with an off-center error and near-perfect mint luster. Essentially a 1 in a billion mistake. Certified by PCGS at MS 68 plus with full strike, unheard of for this year. The combination of ultra-rare error, pristine condition, and historical intrigue makes this coin possibly the most valuable Washington quarter ever struck. Rumor has it the coin was found not in a vault but in a humble collection box at a Midwest coin show. An older collector thought it looked a bit different and had it appraised. Turns out it was a $1 million discovery. The coin went through NGC and PCGS for verification and eventually sold privately through a high-profile auction house to an undisclosed buyer. But the legend lives on. Even if you don't have the $1 million 1990 P quarter, here are other high-value 1990 P errors that could still make you rich. Double die obverse can be worth $500 to $5,000 plus off-center strikes. Value ranges $100 to $2,000 clipped planchets, $200 to $800 depending on severity struck on foreign planchet, up to $20,000 or more, so check your pocket change. You never know what might be hiding there. In a world of crypto and cash apps, who would have thought that a 35-year-old quarter could still turn heads? The 1990 P Washington quarter may be common, but the right one? It's a millionaire's secret. Check your coins, do your homework, and never underestimate pocket change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of numismatics' greatest mysteries, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and share this video. You might help someone find a fortune. 1995 D Washington quarter that's rumored to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're passionate about coins, collectibles, or just curious how a 25-cent piece could turn into a millionaire maker, you're in the right place. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Let's rewind to 1995. Bill Clinton was president, the internet was still dial-up, and the US Mint was producing billions of coins to meet everyday demand. The Washington quarter had already been in circulation for over 60 years. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, which produced approximately 1.1 billion Washington quarters that year. That's billion with AB.SO. How does a coin that's so common become so valuable? Great question. When it comes to coin collecting, there are 5 key factors that determine a coin's value: historical or cultural significance, market demand. What are collectors willing to pay? The 1995 D Washington quarter ticks more than one of these boxes, especially when it comes to errors. Most 1995 D quarters are worth face value 25 cents. But there are rare error coins from this year that collectors would pay thousands, and in one documented case, over $1.8 million for. This is when the coin's design is stamped twice, slightly off, causing visible doubling. Look closely at the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." If there's visible doubling, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Some quarters were struck so off-center you can only see part of the design. These are very rare and valuable. Sometimes a quarter is mistakenly struck on a nickel, penny, or even foreign coin planchet. These errors are incredibly rare and can fetch tens of thousands. This happens when a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a misfeed during the minting process. But the true million-dollar coin? That one has a mystery error. In recent years, one 1995 D Washington quarter made headlines for allegedly selling at auction for $1.80 million. Why? According to sources, this specific coin had a near-perfect MS-70 grade A double-die error and was struck on a foreign silver planchet. That's a trifecta of extreme rarity. Though the exact details are confidential and some claim the sale is still wrapped in mystery, there's strong evidence in the collector world that this coin was indeed sold for over $1 million. Now you're probably wondering, do I have one of these? Check the date and mint mark. It should read 1995 D. Use a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the text, date, or Liberty. Weigh the coin. A quarter should weigh 5.67 g. If it's off, it could be a wrong planchet. Examine the edges. If it's missing reading or has odd shapes, that's a sign. Submit for grading. Contact PCGS or NGC for professional certification. Even if it's not the $1.8 million one, error coins can fetch $100 to $3,000 plus, depending on rarity and condition. So next time you get change from a store, don't just toss it in a jar. That 1995 D quarter could be worth more than you think, maybe even a life-changing amount. Coins connect us to history, to craftsmanship, and sometimes to unbelievable fortune. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? 1997 P Washington quarter be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Coin collectors and treasure hunters are buzzing about this claim. But is there any truth behind it? Or is it just another internet myth? Stay tuned, because today, we're diving deep into this intriguing story to find out the facts, the myths, and what makes some quarters incredibly valuable. Let's start with the basics. The 1997 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, which is why it has a P mint mark. It's part of the classic Washington quarter series, which ran from 1932 to 1998 before the state quarters began in 1999. In 1997, the U.S. Mint produced over 595 million quarters at the Philadelphia Mint alone. So, on the surface, the 1997 P quarter is anything but rare. That kind of production volume typically means low collector value, unless something very special is going on. So where did this jaw-dropping $1.7 million valuation come from? Well, it appears the claim started circulating on social media, especially on platforms like TikTok and YouTube, where users posted dramatic videos titled things like, "Check your quarters. This one is worth $1.70 million." But here's the thing. There's no verified auction record, no numismatic authority, and no credible source confirming that any 1997 P quarter has sold for anywhere near that amount. So what's going on here? Is it all clickbait? Or could there be a grain of truth? Before we totally dismiss the idea, let's talk about what actually can make a coin incredibly valuable. Coins can be worth thousands or even millions if they have the right combination of factors. These include, could a 1997 P quarter with one of these rare traits be worth a fortune? In theory, yes. In practice, let's take a closer look. There are some known error varieties of the 1997 P Washington quarter. Examples include off-center strikes, where the image is misaligned, clipped planchets, where part of the coin is cut off, die cracks or cuds caused by damaged dies. These can fetch between $20 and $500, depending on the severity and condition. But again, nothing close to $1 million. One major factor that affects any coin's value is its grade, or condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A 1997 P quarter in perfect MS 70 condition might be worth $25 to $75, maybe more if it's exceptionally struck. So unless your quarter is a rare error and in mint state condition, it's likely worth just 25 cents. Let's be clear. There is no verified auction, appraisal, or expert who has ever valued a 1997 P quarter at $1.7 million. This number likely came from clickbait or misunderstanding. Some rare coins, like the 1933 Double Eagle or 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, have sold for millions, but those are vastly different stories. If you have a 1997 P Washington quarter, here's what you should do. Inspect it closely for errors. Check if it's uncirculated or mint state. Realistically, it's probably worth face value or a few bucks. But hey, it never hurts to check. So no, your 1997 P quarter isn't going to make you a millionaire overnight, but understanding why is just as fascinating. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another coin collecting deep dive.